Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Sumukascha ekadantascha kapilo gajakarnakaha. Lambodharascha vikato vignarajo vinayakaha. Dhumaketur ganadhyakshaha palachandro gajananaha. Vakratundaha surpakarno herambah skandapurvajaha. Shuklambaradharam Vishnum Sasivarnam Chaturbhujam Prasannavadanam Dhyayet Sarva Vighnopasanteye Yasya Dviradavakradhya Parishadhya Parasatam Vighnam Vignanti Satatam Vishpaksenam Tamatraye Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheswaraha Gurur Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Satchidananda Rupaya Krishnaya Aklishtakarine Namo Vedanta Vedhyaya Gurave Buddhi Sakshine Krishnadvaipaya Namjasam Sarva Bhuta Hite Ratam Vedabhya Bhaskaram Bande Samadhi Nilayam Munim Janmadhyasya Yataka Anvayat Itaratascha Arteshu Abhignahatsvarat Vede Brahma Hridayaka Adi Kavaye Mukhyantiyat Suryahan Tejovari Mudam Yatha Vidimayo Yatra Sargo Mrisha Dhamna Sena Sada Nirasta Kohakam Satyam Param Dhimahi Sarvaha Prochina Kaitavotra Paramodidvat Saranam Satam Vidhyam Bhastavam Atra Bhakta Sivadam Tapatrayon Mulanam Srimad Bhagavate Mahamuni Krute Kimva Parairisvaraha Sadhyo Hridi Avarudyate Atra Krutibihi Satrashibihi Takshanat Nigama Kalpataror Galitam Palam Sakamukat Amrta Dravasam Yutam Vipata Bhagavatam Rasamalayam Muharaho Rasikaha Bhavi Bhavukaha Narayanam Namaskritya Naranchaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udirayet. Now with Bhagavan's grace, let us continue and begin Adhyayam 28 in Skandham 3. In 27 we saw how in the process of the spiritual progress that there will be different divine powers that will manifest from within oneself. We call them siddhic powers. But one should not get dissuaded by them, distracted by them, go on a detour, but must keep on focusing only on Bhagavan and becoming one with him. That's very important. That yoga now Swami is going to describe in Adhyayam 28. What are the disciplines required to experience the indweller, to experience the creator? Well, I'm part of creation, but I'm also the creator, right? I get embedded and meshed and mesmerized in the creation that I am and the world that I've created within me. But how do I get out of that triangle and really go back to myself, the creator? So that is the discipline required for that realization, for moving away, and without getting distracted from the various powers that I will get. I will manifest within myself, but I should not get attracted to them. It's very, very important. Now, in Swami's grace, we will take Slokams 1 through 7, really 2 through 7. They are in one block. And we may not have the time to finish that today, but we will take it as one block and complete with either today and tomorrow. Now, in the first slokam, in 28, Bhagavan says, Amma, now I will describe you to the nature of the meditation, the dhyanam, on the form aspect. It's not formless, but the type of form to worship. Formless is also good. Swami says in Bhagavad Gita, both are good, but what is important is how you do it, with the Shraddha and the Ekagraham, Ekagram, the one-pointed focus on Bhagavan. And the mind is difficult to control on the formless because we are all attached to forms. Therefore, he says, that disorder the form is probably easier. And then by practicing this discipline, the mind becomes purified and will get established in the divine consciousness. Manmana bhava madbhaktaha matyaji mam namaskuru. That experience has to come. Now, Slokam 2 through 7, Bhagavan continues. He says, a person who wants to do this, who wants to achieve this, get freed from the shackles of birth and death, he must abstain from evil ways and he must perform all his duties in a spirit of worship and dedication to Bhagavan. He must also serve holy people and feel really, really happy and contented, the happiness that comes out of contentment. With whatever he gets as prasadam from Bhagavan, whatever he comes this way, possesses, he happens to possess. That's probably a good way. Whatever I happen to have, if I happen to have a house, be happy with it. If I happen to have a small house, be happy with it. Like that, one is really, really contented, the prasadam buddhi. Then you must also shun and move away from the ways of the worldlings, the worldly attractions. Develop sincere interest in ways that lead to spiritual realization. They're very important. You must sincerely desire that. Should also eat only moderately and whatever is conducive to the health of the body and purity of the mind. You should also develop a love for solitude, spending time with Bhagavan, and should periodically spend time in solitary places. Then you must abstain from injuring others and taking advantage of others, exploiting others. You must avoid talking too much. You must avoid accumulating property. And must avoid, abstain from indulging in sexual thoughts, words, and deeds. You must be devoted to truth, Satyam, cleanliness, austerity, in the spiritual study and worship of the divine. You must be moderate in speech and practice a steady posture of the body suitable for spiritual practice. Gradually learn to control the mind and withdraw the senses from the objects and turn the mind away from the sense objects to the heart, to the hridayam. Be loving. Hridayam, nothing but love. Always remember that. Then you must also learn to concentrate on the prana in one of its seats. There are 6 seats in the body in which prana circles around. By means of the mind, you must concentrate on that. Then you must concentrate on the excellence of the glories and the stories of Bhagavan. That itself will generate peace and joy in his mind. By these and other means, the mind, which is beset with evil tendencies and is naturally inclined to yield to instinctive urges, that will be brought under control by these spiritual disciplines. Once the mind is brought under control and then directed along the spiritual path towards it, to the heart, to the indwella. This is Slokam 2 through 7. Slokam 1. Atha Ashtavinsodyayah. Thus the 28th Adhyayam. Sri Bhagavan Uvacha. Yogasya Lakshanam Vakshye Sa Bijasya Nirupatmaje Mano Yenaiva Vidhina Prasannam Yati Sat Atam. Yogasya Lakshanam Vakshye Sa Bijasya Nirupatmaje, or the daughter of a king, Manu's daughter, right? So Devabuddhi. Mano Yena Eva Vidhina Prasannam Yati Sat Patham. Manaha Yena Vidhina Eva. Mind by which path, which pathway, through which discipline, through which prescriptions, Yena Vidhina Eva, Prasannam becomes absolutely clear, not crowded at all, pure, and very crystal clear, like the cleanliness, the purity of a crystal, right? The mind is right now clouded for us. But through which discipline and practices the mind becomes prasannam, clear and pure. And also, satpatam yati, satpatam, the pathway of the truth, which is the divine pathway, the pathway leading to moksham. And moksham, remember the definition Kapilopadesam gave early, right to the beginning itself, is a state that is beyond likes and dislikes. Okay? So there mind becomes clear and also will then travel along the pathway, the moksha margam, yati, traveling. Sabhijasya. Now, this is bijam, is very important. Sabhijasya means this is a approved method. It is not something somebody thought of. Approved and time-tested and tried out. So this is authentic. This is what's very important. Sabhijasya. Okay. What ISKCON Prabhupada says for that, a beautiful word, and I think he uses the word yoga sister. 1 second. I like the word he used. Sakamidihi, Sukyatram, Dharmam Cha. Oh, we are at number 1, sorry. Not in 2. And Bija says it authorized, authentic. Okay? So, that sabhijasya, that satpatam yati sabhijasya yogasya, that authorized, that authentic pathway, the process. So very important to understand this. It is not, again, nowadays the word yoga is used so loosely and everywhere. Because people don't understand. Truly, they don't understand the sacredness and the import of what that conveys. It is not just a body posture and bending and going away. It is not this Kriya Yoga and all this is Darshana Kriya. No, it is none of those things. Yoga this is the Bijasya Yogasya, the authentic, time-tested, approved by the rishis, right? People who have traveled that path and got to the destination. That is the approved path. Okay? So proven. Sabhijasya yogasya, lakshanam, that lakshanam, the characteristics, the component, the constituents of that yoga, the pathway. Now we take a highway, we take a road, road has got characteristics, isn't it? And not every road is the same, even though we may have asphalt covering or cement concrete, doesn't matter, but it takes a different left turn, right turn, two lanes, 4 lanes, and different things come on the way, right? So the pathway has got to have certain lakshanam. And sabhijasya yogasya lakshanam. That I'm going to vakshye, I'm going to teach you. O Nipatmaje, Manaha yena vidhina yeva prasannam satpatam yati sabhijasya yogasya lakshanam vakshye. I'm going to teach that to you. Number 2. Swadharmacharanam Sathya Vidharmacha Nivartanam Daivat Alabdhena Santosha Atma Vichicharana Arshanam. Now, these are certain things that we can start practicing straight away. We don't have to wait for some of them are really not that difficult. And some, of course, we'll have to practice more, but some of them are very, very simple. So, Swadharma Acharanam Satya Vidharmat Cha Nivartanam Daivat Alabdhena Daivat Labdhena, not Alabdhena, Daivat Labdhena Santosha Atma Vicharana Archanam. If they take the second one, Daivat labdhena santosha. Yel labase dida karmopakam vittam tena vinodaya chittam. As Bhajagovindam, as Adi Shankara Bhagavatpala teaches us. Same thing. Yel labase dida karmopakam vittam tena vinodaya chittam. Whatever happens, comes your way based upon all the karma that you have done, okay, be happy, be contented with it. Tena vinodaya chittam, be happy and contented with it. Same thing. Daivat labdhena santosha. Whatever Bhagavan gives, everything that Bhagavan gives is a blessing. Sometimes difficult for me to accept it. Certain things happening. But that faith must come. That is exactly Bhagavan's prasadam. And once that mindset changes and begins to accept things as Bhagavan's prasadam, whether the difficulties, the happiness, the ease with which life goes, all of a sudden an unexpected thing happens, whatever it could be, then that mindset gives santosha. Santosha means just not happiness. It is the contentment, the peace that comes from contentment, because of jvaraha, Swami says in Bhagavad Gita, without mental agitation. The moment I accept things, my mind becomes actually peaceful. The problem comes because I resist it, I reject it, I want something else than what is happening. That is why I don't have peace. That's why I don't have santam. If I accept it does not mean that in a passive way. I accept it in a worshipful manner and still continue to do whatever comes my way. That is in the first line. Swadharma acharanam Sathya. Swadharma acharanam. The Swadharma acharanam, Swadharma is the Bhagavan describes in Gita also. And Krishna Bhagavan, here Kapila Bhagavan says, hey, listen, whatever your Swadharma, follow that. Sathya Sathya means in this case, follow that to your ability. Okay? Because each one of us, if you really look at it, everyone has a very unique blessing from Bhagavan. Okay? One may be an excellent singer, another may be an excellent painter, another may be an excellent speaker, another may be an excellent manager, another may be whatever, artisan. There's no one that is devoid of this unique divine characteristic, the ability that shines in that person. Okay, and if you really observe, and you'll see the truth of this statement. And not everybody is good in everything, right? But there is an extra characteristic. Some may be extremely clean; they are automatically organized, right? I mean, some people are able to speak and give very sweetly and give comfort to others. There's so many ways, so many characteristics that are shining in each one that is in an exalted manner. And each one has at least one, right? In our life, we can see that. Now, according to the ability that Bhagavan has gifted me with, right, I must carry out my Swadharma, Acharanam. I must follow that. Important thing is, I should not seek to do somebody else's work, that because it happens to be bringing more fame and reputation or whatever, right? What Bhagavan gives me, I must do it to the best of my ability in a worship, as I dedicated to Him, as His agent to please Him. This is very, very important to understand. This is what we covered this so many times in Gita also. Mat karmakit, mat paramo, mat bhaktaha. This is what that simply means. There's nowhere is it. In fact, laziness and inaction is explicitly forbidden in our scriptures. Explicitly forbidden. He says you should not be inactive. Okay, you must rise up and do. Yujyasva. These are the words that Swami uses in the Gita. Okay, get up and do. Now, so Swadharma Acharanam Sathya. So, Daivat Labdena Santosha. So, I do the actions that are given to me to the best of the ability, dedicated to Him. Vidharmacha Nivartanam. Avoid the prohibited actions. there are several actions and activities that are prohibited. So explicitly prohibited, and we should avoid that. Avoid bad company, for example. Okay, just again, avoid telling lies. So these are all avoid hurting others. Right? There are two things: the do and the don't. The do is also very important. The don't is also equally important. Okay, there's a do and a don't. Always remember that. So doing that, labdhena, whatever I get, daivat, from Bhagavan, he is the paladhata, santoshaha, be contented and happy with that. Now, when doing this way, atma vicharana arshanam. This is atma with charanaha arshanam. This way that I start doing it, Atmaviti Charanaha, the noble souls who have self-realized souls are there living among ourselves. Kanchipada Mahapariva, for example, right? As example, Ramana Maharishi. There are so many other people are there that we may not even know. But once I start on this path, those people will manifest themselves to us. Like, we will be drawn to them somehow, some way it will happen. I may not be aware of them today, but once I have this sincere inquiry, then they know, okay, this is the candidate to be guided, right? And then Atmavite, Charana, their feet. That means Arshanam, worship that. So to worship the noble souls, be contented with whatever Bhagavan gives, right? Daivatu labdhena. Nothing is obtained with my effort. Please understand, not a single grain of salt can be earned by my hard work. Impossible. I do the work, the palam, the fruit is the paladhata, only daivatu labdhena. Always remember that. What I don't get also is daivatu labdhena. Please understand, this is a very, very important point to experience, okay? And this can be, the truth of the statement can be experienced only not in victory, okay, only in failure. Not in success, but only in failure. Not in fame and reputation, but only in humiliation. This lesson can be experienced. And not in gains, not in making lots of money, only in losing that money. You realize, yes, this is all daivatu labdhena. Yes, all the things happen, the results, everything happens because of Bhagavan. As Arjuna realized after Krishna Bhagavan left the world, right? The Avataram ended. He was given the charge to bring back all the old ladies and the queens and the old people and the children and all that. Back to Indraprastha. That was his charge. And what happened in the forest? What happened to his Gandipam? He forgot all the mantras and all the nomads and the barbarians living in the forest. They came and took away all the jewels and carried away all the ladies and all that. They were all crying out for help. Arjuna, help, help, help. Here is Arjuna, the greatest warrior, Mahabaho, is what Swami had just said in Bhagavad Gita. He couldn't do a single thing. He put his Gandhipam, all the mantras, everything he forgot. Nothing could be done. Right in front of his eyes, he experienced the uttermost disgusting defeat. Because he couldn't do anything about all these ladies crying for help. Then he realized, yes, it is Bhagavan who is doing everything. So we, in our own life, loss is actually a gain, truly speaking. Okay? When you lose something, that you think oh my God, I made all this, I become a president here, or whatever it is it may be, and you lose, and then you realize, you know what? The Bhagavan will give the result. Because if I keep on succeeding, then the ego builds up that I have done something, right? So this daivatu labdhena is the truth. So that only when you experience that, one starts getting into the mindset of accepting things as Bhagavan's prasadam. Then the swadharma, Swadharma Acharanam Sathya, very important. And Vidharmatu cha Nivartanam, that is also very important. So the do's, the don'ts, the acceptance as Prasada Buddhi, and worshipping the feet of noble souls, especially if those people happen to be Jivan Muktas, Atma Vita, who are self-realized souls. That happens, Bhagavan says it will happen. Then worship them. Worship them. This is very important. With humility, tremendous humility. So, Swadharma Sharanam Satya Vidharma Cha Divartanam Daivat Labdhena Santoshaha Atmavit Charana Arshanam. We will conclude today. The third slokam we will take up Swami's grace tomorrow. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Samastalokaha Sukhino Bhavanto. Samastalokaha Sukhino Bhavanto. Samastalokaha Sukhino Bhavanto. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om.